Hello, citizens, and welcome back. This is our match reaction from Man City 0 Inter Milan 0 in the Champions League. Make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe as well. Let's jump into it. So, City 0 Inter Milan 0, and to be honest, I think that's a fair result off the bat. I think both teams played really well. Inter did their job, we did ours, and I can't complain. It was a good game in truth as well. I think this is what the new Champions League format is aiming for. Bigger teams playing each other. I mean, these are two of the best teams in the world. I think Inter are like third in the Opta stats, and we're first, and there's Real Madrid in between us. So yeah, this is the kind of game that UEFA wanted, and it's the game they got. But let's look at it. So I think Pep would have said in this start of this game is that this was going to be a much more difficult test than the Brentford game. I thought Brentford played really well against us and should have been 2-3-0 up in the first half hour. But this is a test for Arsenal this coming weekend. This is a game where we're going to have to play with much more intensity. And he threw on the big boys as well. He played Rodri. We had Diaz, Akanji starting at centre back, Vardy on the left, Grealish, Savinho on the wings, Haaland up front, De Bruyne, Bernardo in the middle with Ederson and goal, and of course Lewis right of defence. And like I said, Pep would have said more intensity, and that's what we got from the beginning of the game. I thought we pushed really high, we played really, really well. We kept hold of the ball nice. We looked sharp, much more sharper than we did against Brentford in the opening half. But that being said, Inter Milan cost us quite a few problems because whenever we'd hit the edge of their box, they would drop into a 5-3-2. You know, their back five were almost sitting on their 6-yard box. Then their middle three would sit on the 18, and their front two just in front of those. And then once they win that ball back on the edge of the box because they were sitting so narrow, and that's what they're trying to do, stop us playing through them. They countered so well and so quick. They were throwing 3, 4, 5 bodies forward, and there were a number of times where they had 3-on-3 or 3-on-2 or 4-on-3 in that first half. And I think with better decision making and a lot more quality up front, they would have scored. I thought we got bailed out a couple of times from Thuram being offside and some wayward shots from him. And I thought City were just about hanging on from those counter-attacks in the first half. But going forward the other way, we weren't really creating much. We were having all the possession. Yes, we were pushing them back, but we weren't really doing anything with it. We didn't really provide Haaland much service. I think we only gave him one cross and a decent leap for him, but the header was straight at Sommer, unfortunately. But I thought De Bruyne was quite ineffective on that left-hand side. We've seen it this season where Pep's trying to push him further out wide to give him more space to work with, but he didn't do anything with that. I mean, Grealish was inside of him, and I thought Grealish was our focal point for most of it. That first 45, Grealish, I thought, was probably our best player, and he was the one trying to create things. He was the one being direct. He was the one carrying the ball really well. Like I said, his 1-2s with De Bruyne were quite nice. Savinho wasn't seeing much of it on the other side, and Pep needed to change it at half-time, which is what he did. You know, he took Savinho off, he took De Bruyne off, he took a knock, he brought Foden on and Gundogan on, and in the second half, we were much more controlled. We were pressing a little slightly better. We had more intensity in the first half, but without much of the payoff. But in the second half, I thought we were much more controlled and we were working on the pitch a lot easier and a lot more comfortable. We were keeping on the ball better. I thought Foden and Gundogan helped us with that as well because they're both nice and calm on the ball. And they're not always trying to play that silky through ball that De Bruyne's trying to do. Gundogan's just there to keep hold of it, keep possession moving, and Foden's there to find the pockets of space, turn on it, and just go direct and hit it. And a couple of times he did that. But again, second half, no service to Haaland whatsoever. The only time he touched ball was when he was dropping a good link-up play. But again, most of the play was going through Grealish, and most of our best moments were through Grealish. And we had a couple of shots on target. I thought Gundogan probably should have done better with that header right in injury time, where straight at Sommer. I mean, it's a wonderful cross by Vardy. Pinpoint it was, but straight at the keeper again. Yeah, it's just one of those nights. Look, I think both teams will take it. I think before the game, both teams will take it. You want to get off with your Champions League campaign and any campaign really with 3 points and goals. But I think both teams will take this because they are two of the best teams in the competition. They're two teams who are capable of reaching the final, going on to win it. And even though it's at the Etihad, I think Pep would be satisfied with it. We kept a clean sheet. Yes, we didn't create too much going forward, but this is a very good test. And again, it's all about context. You got Inter Milan who are playing AC Milan this weekend. We're playing Arsenal. Both teams have bigger games than what this is. So yeah, this was a good warm up for that game, and I thought the play showed off well. Now going into each performance, Ederson didn't have much to do, but what he did okay as well. Passing as always, a little bit off today, but he did okay. Right back Lewis, super going forward. I just think he gets too excited when he gets to the edge of the box. We've seen it a couple of times this season, you know, against Chelsea and against Ipswich in the first home game when he smashed it against the bar. When he gets in around the 18-yard box, it's like his adrenaline's pumping too much and his pass is always too heavy, or his shot is just like far too much. Other than that, like I said, he's quality. He's quick on the feet. He's like Foden. He turns really nicely on the ball, and he's able to find the space. He's able to create space as well, and he can create things. Centre half, I thought Diaz and Akanji were unbelievable today. I thought Diaz in particular, I thought this was his best performance of the season. I mean, going back into last season, I can't remember him playing this well. I thought most of last season he was kind of a not passenger, but I think he was just going through the motions. But in this one, he looked solid. He was stepping out at the right times. He kept a really well high line with Kanji. Those two look really, really good today, and they have to start on the weekend. I love Stones, but Diaz and Akanji, for me, are the best centre-halves at the moment. Left back, Vardio, much better when he's going forward. We saw it early on in the season. First couple of games, he wasn't being allowed to push forward because we had Lewis on the other side. But in this one, he was getting forward. And some of our best crosses were coming through him. But again, defensively, he does his work, gets up and down the pitch really well. And I think he's making a good partnership with Diaz next to him as well. And I think he's got a good partnership with Grealish. I think they know how each other work really well. Going into midfield, Rodri, his first start of the season, thought he was solid. There's, again, Rodri moments where he picks up the ball, surrounded by 3 players, can hold them off, still find some space, gets pass off. He did that a couple of times today, which is what we like to see. Still like to see more going from him going forward, but that's going to come in time. I thought in the first half he was getting run ragged a little bit. I thought Inter Milan had him when they were counter-attacking. They were just going straight through him. And he couldn't really do anything about it because he doesn't have that pace. But good performance all around for his first start of the season. De Bruyne, whether he was injured or not at halftime, I think the right move was taking him off at halftime. Like I said, I think he was ineffective. I don't think he was doing much for us. Yes, he was doing nice passes and he was finding a through ball every now and then, but he wasn't having his best game. If he's going to play against Arsenal, why not take him off at halftime? Give Foden a run out. Who needs the minutes? Alongside him, Bernardo. In the first half, Bernardo was the only one pressing. In the second half, he stopped doing that because he went on the right side. And when he went on the right side, he did nothing pretty much for the second half. But other than that, again, good performance. I thought Gundogan and Foden, when they came on, I thought they basically did a better job of that midfield in the second half. I thought that's the reason why we were more comfortable and why Inter Milan were struggling to counter-attack us as effectively and as much, because we were keeping on the ball better because of those two. Right side, Savinho getting live wide right, whether he's going on the outside or inside. I just don't think Inter Milan could handle him. He was quick, pacey. I was surprised he got taken off. But again, if you need to give Foden the minutes, why not do it? Left-hand side, Grealish. I thought he was our best player. I do. I thought him and Diaz today were our best players. He was phenomenal. And people always say, what does Grealish give this City team? I see it all the time in the media when Grealish doesn't get picked for England. Or where does this leave Grealish and Man City's future? He's out of favour with Pep. I saw it all the time the last 3 weeks. You know, on places like TalkSport and things, Grealish won't get in this City team over Doku. Nonsense. Grealish is our best left-sided player. And the way he plays, the way he carries the ball forward, the way he can win free kicks, the way he holds onto the ball, holds on to possession, his work rate going back as well, he's a first pick every time. And if Pep Guardiola is picking you over anyone else, it's because he trusts you and he knows you're better. So yeah, there's always a place for Grealish. Absolutely love him. And I thought today it was his best performance in a long, long time. Over on Haaland, had 0 service, did what he could. He had half a chance in the first half where there wasn't enough pace on the ball for his header. Second half, he was dropping deep, linking up. But yeah, I think Pep could have taken him off at halftime. He wouldn't even have noticed. There'll be better days for him, and hopefully we'll see better of him against Arsenal when, like I said, this is a warm-up for that game. This isn't the be-all and end-all. This game doesn't even matter that much. Even if we lost it, it wouldn't even matter. And we got a point on the ball. We got a clean sheet, which was nice. But it's a warm-up for the weekend. So yeah, this has been a good test. Thanks for watching. Thanks for checking it out. Make sure to hit like, hit subscribe. See you again.